offline. Good afternoon. My name is Robert Childress, the CEO of the Masters Conference. I am excited to be here in the EDT, suite here over at the Hampton ILTA 2016. I'm joined by Jo Sherman, the founder and CEO of EDT. Jo, it's great to see you today.
Thanks, Robert. It's great to be here talking to you. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you again for having me and let me come see what you guys are doing here.
Sure.
I understand you have a guest here with you, but I'd like to know about a little bit about what EDT is doing.
Sure.
And kind of what's going on, and then you can introduce your guest.
Okay, thank you. Well, EDT is a company that's been around for quite a long time, although the brand is a little new in the US. I founded the company over a decade ago in Australia. You've probably gathered from my accent. I'm not from around these parts.
Right.
I was inspired to do so when I saw that there was a need to improve the way lawyers were managing electronic material during investigations and litigation. And so began the journey. And over the last 10 years, we've been focused on growth internationally, mainly in Australia, the Asia-Pacific region, of course through Asia, and in the UK and even Canada. But more recently, we've decided to really have a go at the US market.
Right.
And that's why I'm here. I set up the office about just over 18 months ago in the US. And I've recruited some great people, and I'm very excited about some of the new clients that we're working with, one of whom is with me here today. Kelly Twigger is doing some amazing stuff with her law firm, ESI Attorneys, and we just love working with people that are thinking differently about litigation. I'm trying to avoid the word e-discovery.
Right.
We don't like to use that word too often because I think what's happening in the e-discovery sector is that the tail is wagging the dog.
Right.
And that is, e-discovery has become an industry in itself that has kind of lost its sense of purpose in terms of what we're trying to do. Ultimately, what we're trying to do is help a client resolve a dispute or manage an investigation. And there are some very creative ways that we can use software to do that. Discovery may be part of that, but we're really trying to encourage people to think a bit differently about how they manage their cases. And Kelly gets it. She's one of the leading attorneys in this area, and it's just delightful to have you here today, Kelly.
Thanks, Jo. It's a pleasure to be here, and we've been doing a lot of great things this afternoon with learning some new bits and pieces about EDT that'll really help us even in the current matters that we have. So I'm excited about that.
That's great. It was fun to show you earlier. We had an interesting moment when Kelly was saying, I'd love to see EDT develop a chronology feature.
Oh, wow.
And I actually said, it's there, let's have a look. So it's great to get together at these sorts of events and be able to work with clients that are already using the platform and are now entering that domain of being an advanced user. So
and it's perfect for us too, because then we come to these events and we get real practical solutions that we can take back and implement. So I actually took notes as we were talking through the process and was able to send them back to my office, so people are already working on doing what we talked about, an hour ago. So it's great.
Yeah,
that's really good.
So in terms of the proposition and what are we offering? EDT is software that does processing, analysis, review, production, even presentation for the courtroom. It's all in one platform, and it's very cost effective. We don't do per gig charging. We don't do per user charging.
Right.
We have a deployment model which can be really very flexible in that it can be in the cloud, in your cloud, or we can provide the cloud. So it's sort of BYO infrastructure if you want it. You can run EDT on a laptop. We have quite a few international clients that use it for data protection scenarios in the EU, where you need to take the tools to the data instead of the other way around. And on premises. In fact, most of our clients that are now over 10 years standing internationally, which includes actually 3 of the largest law firms in the world, are running EDT on premises. So
very cool.
Behind the firewall. And we have a few government bodies that also are focused on that model because it's, obviously there's concerns about hosting externally. But then we have clients that are very happy with a cloud-based deployment or deployment in their chosen data center.
Right. And so, Kelly, if as we wrap up, is there anything as a customer or a partner of EDT's that maybe they might not know in their branding or anything that you'd want to share that maybe your experience with them, with your firm, that seems to set them apart for you specifically?
You know, I would suggest to anybody who hasn't looked at EDT that you take a look and see how it can fit in your quiver of arrows for e-discovery, because for us, it's become very much our go-to solution. Because it's affordable. It's
Right.
very affordable. It brings the functionality that we need, especially for early case assessment and being able to filter and cull out data. We do a lot of targeted collection and thought process, but we follow at ESI Attorneys a very iterative approach where we apply a lot of strategy and knowledge of the client to the data, and we need to be able to work with a tool that is affordable and lets us be able to do that with our clients. And so we've really enjoyed our partnership with EDT and with Joe. And the great thing is we like to work with great people who are smart and think the way we do, and so that's been a lot of fun.
Well, excellent. Well, I appreciate you guys taking the time today.
I should just mention
Sure.
one other partner
Yes,
in this
ma'am.
little relationship. We were brought together by a joint partner, which is one of our service providers in the US, fantastic company, LSP, Legal Support Partners.
Yes.
And they were one of the early adopters of our
wonderful.
platform. They've become experts. They help out our team
Right.
out sometimes with our platform, and they're just great people as well for those that are looking at a hosted solution for EDT.
Absolutely.
Well, I really appreciate your time today. When I think of EDT, I've always believed that you guys are at the forefront of what's going on in this community. For some reason, I've always had this mentality of EDT is so much bigger than what you've painted the picture as, and I think that's because of the professionalism and the quality of what you guys do. It's an honor to actually be with both of you today, so I appreciate your time. And
Thank you.
Thank you again.
And keep up the good work. You do a great job.
Oh,
we
thank
love,
you.
we
Thanks,
love your
Robert.
work. Thanks,
Cheers.
Robert.